from Wingate University and WUTV. This is Wingate Today.
Coming up, the big-time marketing of a football program, summer school and why it's becoming more attractive, and Rwanda, the lessons Americans can learn 19 years after a human catastrophe. But first, sprucing up in a major way. Hello and welcome to Wingate Today. I'm Jeff Atkinson. Summer's always a busy time for Wingate University, but this year things went into overdrive. Students and visitors will notice a number of impressive campus improvements. Outside, W.T. Harris Dining Hall has been spruced up. Inside, there's new flooring and paint. Helms Residence Hall received a major upgrade. The second floor of Burnside Dalton has been redesigned to accommodate the Doctor of Physical Therapy program, and an Einstein bagel shop featuring coffee and sandwiches opened in the Ethel K. Smith Library. Fans of Cuddy Arena will like this one. Workers used a huge crane and hoisted a $250,000 air conditioning unit to the roof of Cuddy. For the first time in the building's 27-year history, there will be cool air in the basketball gym throughout the year. Wingate's new campus in Ballantyne is taking shape. The university moved its graduate and professional programs that were taught in Matthews to a new address in South Charlotte. Classes are in the Ballantyne Corporate Park's Harris building. The public will get a chance to see the campus at a grand opening set for this fall. You may have seen the billboards announcing the Ballantyne move. Wingate purchased ad space on digital signs on I-77 and I-485 in Charlotte. The ad campaign touting the move will run on digital billboards throughout the fall. And Wingate's third campus in Hendersonville in the western North Carolina mountains in August began offering master's level courses in physician assistant studies. The university opened a campus in Hendersonville a year ago and has already outgrown the current location. Wingate Hendersonville offers degrees in pharmacy, MBA, and now PA studies. On Wingate's main campus, the big story is record enrollment. Listen to what Rhett Brown, Vice President for Student Life and Enrollment Services, told incoming freshmen during orientation.
This is an exciting time for our university. You all are a part of the largest entering class in our history, with more than 700 new freshmen and transfers, and we expect to enroll almost 3,000 students this fall.
Since 1992, Wingate's been on a steep climb. Undergraduate enrollment has increased by nearly 168%. Enrollment in graduate and professional programs has increased by almost 2,000%. Summer school also broke records. Enrollment was up almost 20% over last year, and there were more courses offered than before. As Wingate senior Kellen Williams reports, there are many reasons students took advantage of summer school this year.
Jana Johnson, a rising freshman, took her first college class in summer school.
I was always afraid for my first college class, how it is in Legally Blonde.
Facing her fears, Jana took on a sophomore level class, Global Perspectives in Economics and Political Science, which all students at Wingate must take. She did it to get ahead.
The first class is really great. I have a really good teacher.
Margaret Thatcher, that's right.
Jana's professor, Dr. Joseph Ellis, has taught this class every summer. He told us there are a lot of advantages to summer school for students and faculty.
It can be long and exhausting in one sense, but in a way I think for the students' kind of brains and the way they think, it can be very, very good because every single day we're, moving on with the lesson. From a selfish perspective, it keeps my brain working.
Summer school is also a way for anyone to take a class in something that interests them.
Within a short period of time, you can have a relative mastery of a particular subject if you commit yourself to learning that particular thing.
With all of the benefits of summer school, everyone seems to enjoy it.
I love summer school. I will always teach summer school.
I'm really enjoying it.
I also took summer classes to make up for credits I lost when I transferred to Wingate. Now I'm on track to graduate on time. I'm Kellen Williams, reporting for Wingate Today.
Summer is also the time for summer camps.
1, 2, 3, woo-sop!
That's right, WUSOP, Wingate University School of Pharmacy. Doctoral students took local 6th, 7th, and 8th graders on a week-long journey into the world of medicine in August. And they invited a local resident surgeon to help.
What do you guys think the general surgeon does on a day-to-day basis?
35 students from Monroe Middle and other area middle schools took part in the Wingate Health Science Summer Camp. On the day we were there, they tied a string into a knot around a pencil, simulating tying a blood vessel, and tied a string around a cup, trying not to move the coins inside. The goal, to expose kids from underserved schools to careers in medicine and give them a taste of college life. The camp's organizer.
I happen to be one of those students in the past that didn't hear about college. I didn't have family that went to college, and so I kind of have a heart for those students, and that's why I'm here.
Anna Jones wants to go into ophthalmology when she grows up. She's getting valuable experience now.
I was initially nervous about it because, I knew we had senior grades and stuff, but I figured, hope for the best, and so when we got saying we could go, we were happy, so.
It wasn't all serious stuff. The students got to go inside the pharmacy lab, and they had time for fun and games outside. This is the first year of the School of Pharmacy's Health Science Summer Camp. They plan to offer it again next year.
Go Ash Crab, let's go!
Wingate also hosted in August 8 of the area's best high school football teams in a preseason scrimmage dubbed the FCA Kickoff Jamboree, sponsored by Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Piedmont High School, which is moving up to 3A this fall, faced two strong opponents, 4A Myers Park, a Charlotte-Mecklenburg high school, and 2A state champions East Lincoln. Other Union County schools were Monroe, Forest Hills, and CATA, the Central Academy of Technology. The scrimmage ended with a pep talk from Perry Tuttle, who caught the game-winning catch for Clemson when they won the national championship in 1981.
Being on the cover of Sports Illustrated has been great. Being a first-round draft pick has been wonderful. But if that's the only thing that you got going for you, I promise you're going to find yourself like me, empty.
Tuttle shared about his faith and told the high school athletes not to lose sight of what's important in life. Football, also the subject we're talking about in this month's Wingate Today sports segment. Ryan Brown is the voice of Bulldog Sports. What's going on, Ryan?
Well, that's right, Jeff. This time of year means football season's getting ready to start. And it's not just so much about football games anymore. It's about the entertainment business in college sports. And here at Wingate, no different. 5 really exciting promotions coming up for the 2013 home season. August in Wingate means that football is finally back. The Bulldogs and head coach Joe Reich still have plenty of work to get done before their 10-game season begins in September. But work has already been done other places on campus for the 5 home football games and the game day promotions.
It's been a busy summer for Wingate Athletics, but we're getting everything ready for our season ticket customers and our fans. We've been working hard to launch a new ticketing system called Ticket Return, where people can go online and purchase tickets.
Started by Callahan, Ticket Return is a first online ticket purchasing system for athletics and simplifies fans' access to games.
Our first game, which is kind of the most exciting just because football season's back, and it's Letterman's Weekend, which we've invited all of our former student athletes to come back. It's also Patriots Day, where we've invited local firefighters, police, and everybody kind of who is a public service figure, just kind of honoring them and their commitment to us.
Other exciting promotions include tailgating for troops, Hall of Fame, and Pink Day, which Coach Reich and his team hope will raise cancer awareness.
Yeah, the Pink Day is definitely something that we're excited about. We're excited to promote. Obviously, I think it affects a lot of our players. A lot of our players' families have been directly affected by that. So it's exciting to kind of bring a good cause to everything.
Over in student life, Emma Wallace and team have been working mostly on 2 major events that bring family and alumni to campus.
Some of our bigger events that we have coming up, 4 football games will be Family Weekend. We offer a family tailgate, and in our package this year, Union County Symphony will be coming to campus that weekend, and so we'll have tickets as well for that.
Regardless of which event or game that you attend this year, know everyone, including Callahan and Wright, share excitement for the variety of promotions and game day atmosphere.
We really want everybody to come out, have a good time. There's lots planned for people of all ages.
I think that the promotion for the school are great because it really, the excitement of a game day is the whole event of a game day. It's funny, we talk as a staff, it's not just about the football game, it's about, you're promoting an event. And we want people to come to the game thinking this is an entire event. It's not just a football game, it's everything that surrounds a college football game. And that just makes it really exciting to be in that kind of atmosphere.
As for the message Wingate football has for its fans,
we will be ready. Will you?
Jeff, as we said, a really exciting season coming up, as we said, on the field and for those promotions. You can once again find your tickets at wingatebulldogs.com/tickets. And of course, that's the same spot you can find the entire 10-game schedule for Wingate football.
It's a great time of year. What's coming up next month?
Well, Jeff, something we look forward to every single year, also hosted by the Wingate football team, is the Special Olympics Day. It's done on a Saturday before the season starts, and we'll leave it at that. A really, really special day.
Ryan Brown, thank you very much. Wingate's volleyball team starts the school year in search of its 8th consecutive SAC tournament title. But in advance of that, the Lady Bulldogs traveled on an 8-day trip to Nicaragua. They competed against Nicaraguan national teams, conducted volleyball clinics, and did some volunteer work, distributing books and helping kids learn English. Their visit made a buzz in social media. San Juan Live tweeted about the team taking on the Nicaraguan national team. Fans kept up with the Bulldogs via the student athletes' blog postings. Wingate's women's lacrosse team is coming together. Head coach Colleen Olmstead assigned 18 players to the 2013 recruiting class. They're from across the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic, along with California. This will be the first year for women's lacrosse at Wingate University. As we all know, fans are an important part of any athletic program. Rare do you find a super fan like we have. Kim Williams joins us now with this month's Overtime segment. Kim?
If there was an award for Wingate's #1 fan, it would have to go to Ella Hargett. Ella never attended Wingate as a student, but she is 100% Bulldog. She has more Wingate memorabilia than the university bookstore. Blankets, t-shirts, jewelry, seat cushions. The day I met with Ella, she wore a Wingate shirt and a Bulldog necklace. Living only a stone's throw from the campus, she oftentimes flies the Wingate flag outside of her front porch on game days. She attends the home games of every sport at Wingate and has been on the sidelines for decades. That's all 22 sports at Wingate. An avid tennis player herself, she cheers enthusiastically at the tennis matches.
I do not miss a tennis match.
Football.
As soon as the tickets come out, I buy my season tickets.
Volleyball.
We just hoot and holler, and of course, they win. Oh my goodness, our volleyball team is superb.
Basketball. And the list goes on. There's no one quite like Ella. She attends the sports banquet every year, helps with hospitality tents at games, the Bulldog Club clam bake, homecoming, and golf tournaments. She sponsors the J. Ralph Hargett Memorial Tournament and spaghetti dinner held each March honoring her late husband who was a golf coach at Wingate. He and Ella met while they were PE teachers and basketball coaches at Forest Hills High School.
And of course, marrying a coach, you marry their profession.
Ella shared that after her husband passed away in February 2000, Wingate became her entertainment and therapy. I would venture to say that she became the university's biggest cheerleader. Her husband Ralph was a charter member of the Bulldog Club. Ella is still a member and plays an active role. Anyone involved in Bulldog athletics knows Ella.
She is very supportive of everything at the university, not only athletics, but the arts and other endeavors.
Whether it's a clam bake or a Bulldog Club hospitality, people do know they have to go through Ella before they ever get into the hospitality tent.
I can honestly say that in my 17 years, I have not met anybody who is more dedicated and loyal. She's very, very special to our athletics department.
Ella follows the student athletes during their time at Wingate and attends graduation each year to bid them farewell.
I go up when they're lined up to walk in and try to find as many of them as I can.
And although she doesn't have an official award, she does have a #1 fan parking sign just for her.
Kim, she certainly is a super fan. How did that sign come about?
We really don't know. It just magically appeared.
Like a lot of things with Ella. And she helped start a group, a tennis group on campus?
Yes,
Tell us about that.
They play 3 times a week. They've been doing it for years, and it involves faculty and staff.
Kim Williams, thank you very much. Straight ahead on Wingate Today, he played baseball at Wingate, met his wife at Wingate, has a love for Wingate, and now runs one of the most successful companies in his field. You'll meet him next in our Alumni Spotlight.
Your extraordinary future begins at Wingate University with more than 35 undergraduate majors and graduate and professional programs in the health sciences, business, and education. Wingate University's enrollment has mushroomed and construction has skyrocketed in the past 2 decades. And Wingate is the 6th best value in the South, according to U.S. News and World Report. Most importantly, Wingate graduates get jobs. They're working all over the Carolinas and the U.S. Major in a great life at Wingate University.
Welcome back to Wingate Today. Rome, Florence, Pisa, Orvieto, Montefalco. Nearly 40 members of the Wingate family enjoyed a trip of a lifetime this summer in the first ever International Alumni and Friends trip. Suzanne Film, Director of Alumni and Parent Relations, is with us. So you went to Italy. How was it?
It was wonderful. Much more than I thought it could have ever been.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part probably was the camaraderie between all of the participants. It was wonderful. They had a great time in Italy. Most had never been, so we had a great time seeing everything together for the first time.
We mentioned some of the cities. give us the travel log in a brief few seconds.
Sure. So we arrived in Rome on July 9th and spent 3 nights there. And we visited the Colosseum and Vatican City and all those things you hope to see while in Rome. And then we traveled to Orvieto and onto Assisi and spent a night in Assisi, and then a day in Assisi, and then went on to Florence for 4 nights.
And you were also in Pisa. We always think of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yes.
Did you climb the tower?
We did. It was quite the trip. When it leans, you lean. Sometimes it's easier to walk than other times.
How did this come about? You said you had about 40 members of the Wingate family. How did it come about?
Well, most Wingate undergrads understand the importance of international travel. It's built into their program. In their junior year, they get to go on international. And so we thought this was just a natural progression. We needed our alums to be able to go on an international trip. And so Vint Tilson and Hannah Dickerson started the process, and I came in and started helping.
So you had, were these recent graduates? Were these older folks? Who was in the audience? Who was there?
Quite a range. We had graduates from the 50s all the way up to graduates from 2012. So we had quite an array of people.
The trip was 10 days. Mm-hmm. Billed as a true taste of Italy. Explain what that means.
Oh, you get everything. You get to live like an Italian. You get to walk a lot of places. You get to eat a lot of wonderful food. And you get to see just beautiful Roman architecture from centuries ago up to the present.
This was the first Alumni and Friends trip that we've taken. Will you go back? Will you do something else?
We will do something else. We are planning our next trip for next year, mid-June, hopefully starting in Scotland and ending in England.
Sounds like a great trip plan. Suzanne Film, thank you very much.
Thank you.
They weren't the only people traveling the world this summer. 2 students from the School of Sports Sciences, Andrew Lipscomb and Steve Hammond, went to Rotterdam in the Netherlands to work with organizers of the Shell Eco Marathon Europe 2013. One of the world's most challenging student competitions, it brings together about 200 teams and 3,000 students from across Europe battling it out to see who can design and build the most fuel-efficient vehicle. The Wingate students helped with event management and came away with a better appreciation of what it takes to host a major international event. Time for our Alumni Spotlight, and we are joined by Wingate 95 alum Brian Stevenson, also contributing reporter to Wingate Today. What are you working on this month, Brian?
Well, I'm talking to Joel Barham this month, Jeff, and Joel is a 1984 Wingate graduate and owns a very successful food brokerage business. But you will quickly see that Joel's definition of success is a lot more than profit margins. Spend any time with Joel Barham and you'll understand the priorities in his life.
It's the order that it should be. It's God first, my family second, and then behind that pretty much is work.
Joel's character and foundation really developed during his days at Wingate.
You knew pretty much from the day I walked on campus, I knew they loved me. I knew they really cared about me. It was more than just the money. They cared about people. They cared about developing young men and women.
But it wasn't the people that originally drew Joel to Wingate, it was baseball. He played all 4 years here, and when his glove broke before a game, assistant coach Bill Nash helped him realize why he was on the team.
I'll go up to Bill and say, Bill, I got a problem. The game's getting ready to start, and my gloves broke. He said, Joel, you don't need to worry about a glove. Just go get your bat. Because he had no interest in putting me in the field. He wanted me to hit.
Loving Joel for his bat is even evident today. His generosity to the Bulldog baseball program led Wingate to name the batting facility at Ron Christopher Stadium after him. But as much as he loves Wingate, just ask him about his family.
I was fortunate and found love of my life, that's for sure.
Joel and Sherry have been married for 27 years and have 3 boys.
Get a little emotional when I talk about John. Really when I talk about all my boys.
John, Justin, and Joshua all play baseball like their dad, but the moments on the field aren't the thing that Joel cherishes most.
Probably the proudest moment in my life, besides marrying my wife, was watching my 3 boys go down the church aisle together and give their life to the Lord publicly.
Joel's foundation in faith and family have translated to success in the business world, where he is president of Cell Ethics Marketing based in Matthews.
We define our purpose as to glorify God by operating a company based on Christian biblical principles. And we wanted to create an environment where we could show appreciation and respect to our suppliers, to the trade that we call on, to our clients that we represent, and even more importantly, to our people.
The food brokerage company has grown since its creation in 1999. Today, they represent about 250 manufacturers and have 300 employees, some who are Wingate alumni, and they are represented in grocery stores up and down the East Coast. They make sure their clients' products are properly placed on store shelves and ready for customers to purchase.
And it's so refreshing to know that we're making a difference. It's not about really selling groceries. That's like, we have to do that to have a profitable company, but we're vessels and God's using us.
The character of his company is even stated in its name, Sell Ethics, and I can tell you I've known Joel for a long time. What you see is what you get, and he has proved to have a very successful formula for life.
Brian Stevenson, thank you very much. We shine a light on Wingate's new nursing program in the fall issue of the Wingate Today magazine. The Alumni and Friends publication is arriving in homes now. The magazine also features a story on the Bulldogs joining forces with Nike and reports on Commencement 2013, graduating to alumni status. Wingate Today will be right back.
Planning your next step in life? Come complete your education in a dynamic, caring environment at Wingate University. Enrollment and construction have skyrocketed in the past 2 decades as students pursue challenging and rewarding degrees in fields like the health sciences, business, and education. U.S. News & World Report has named Wingate University the 6th best value in the South. Visit one of our 3 great campuses, Wingate, North Carolina, Hendersonville, or Charlotte, or check us out at wingate.edu. Major in a great life at Wingate University.
For the first time ever, the South Atlantic Conference held its annual Football Media Day online. Instead of gathering with reporters at a prearranged location, football coaches from the SAC took questions from the press and from fans via the World Wide Web. Dr. Keith Cannon, a journalism professor in Wingate's Department of Communication, was one of the reporters who covered the event. He contributed a story for the Charlotte Observer. Welcome.
Thank you, Jeff. Good to be here.
How unique was this?
It's the first time I'd ever experienced anything like this, doing a media day online, but fans were able to be involved via Twitter and via the Cover It Live blog site. There was a live blog through which a lot of the activity took place. And coaches and sports information directors were able to join in from their own campuses without having to travel anywhere. And of course, the media who participated the same way.
Do you see this as a trend? Is this something we'll be seeing more of?
I'm not sure whether it's a trend or not. I do think that it's a pretty neat way for smaller schools, smaller athletic programs to get their message out. And I particularly liked the way that it allows for fan engagement. I've thought for years that new media has been the best thing to happen to Division II athletics, with things like live streaming and blogs and websites devoted to that size programs, because they can get the attention that they don't get from traditional or larger media, especially a problem for places like Wingate, which are in larger media markets.
Very good. Well, it sounds like a unique opportunity and a good way going forward for us to cover these kind of media days.
Absolutely. A budget savings for athletic departments and access with relative ease for media people without them having to travel too, so the element of convenience.
Keith Cannon, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.
For about the last year, we've focused our Blog Talk segment on trends in social media. But Ben Richardson, our social media expert, takes us in a different direction this month, shining a light on a group of world changers whose movement took off through social media.
Just over a year ago, I discovered Wine to Water on Twitter. While their pictures captured my attention, it was their vision that stole my heart: to provide clean water to needy people around the world, with the goal to give the fortunate population an opportunity to fight for those who can't fight for themselves. Wine to Water is second to none when it comes to promoting fundraiser events and spreading awareness using social media. But the sad truth is that more than 1 billion people lack access to clean water, and every 20 seconds a child dies of water-related illnesses. Just to give you some perspective, Chicago's population is only 2.9 million. In 2006, the United Nations Human Development Report showed that water and sanitation crisis claims more lives through disease than any war claims through guns. In addition, more children die from water-related illnesses than AIDS, malaria, and measles combined.
From Boone, North Carolina, meet Doc Henley. Through his Wine to Water program, this bartender provides clean, sustainable water to thousands worldwide.
In September, founder, author, and CNN hero Doc Henley will be visiting Wingate to address our students on his best-selling book, Wine to Water, which our incoming students were required to read over the summer. To learn more about Wine to Water, visit them online at winetowater.org or follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
Thank you, Ben Richardson. It's a human tragedy that most of us don't know about or even remember. The genocide that took place in the East African country of Rwanda 19 years ago in 1994. One Wingate University student survived, and today he's made it a mission to make sure it's never forgotten.
I went through terrible times, hard times, but God had a plan for me.
He speaks with a view of the world that few people know. Theo Nagishima, age 22 or 23, he's not sure how old he is. There are no birth records. He was just a young child, maybe 3 or 4, when his family was yanked out of their home, tortured and killed in Rwanda in 1994.
I lost all my family. I lost my 5 siblings. Actually, my mom was pregnant the same night and she had a miscarriage.
Perhaps the darkest and most brutal tragedy of our time.
1994, civil war broke out in Rwanda between 3 tribes after the assassination of the country's president. In the course of about 100 days, from April to July, an estimated 1 million people were killed. Imagine a city the size of Charlotte just disappearing. Theo's family were among the 1 million murdered. His mother was poisoned, his father slaughtered.
I heard him screaming. I cannot really remember his face because I was still young.
He was befriended by missionaries, educated, and through the love and support of friends, arrived at Wingate University last year. Despite losing everything, Theo is not bitter. There's forgiveness in the emails he writes to friends. The Lord has brought many people in my life that has helped me to fail to remember the pain from all my past. Theo believes he was spared for a reason.
Just try to be an encouragement to people who are like me, who never dream of tomorrow, who have no hope for tomorrow. Then I can be an encouragement to them.
In April, on the Wingate campus, Theo shared his story in a lyceum about the genocide in Rwanda. Professor of Religion, Dr. Heather McDivitt facilitated.
A lot of our students were infants or toddlers or weren't even born during the genocide in 1994. And his story, his narrative, can really offer a lot to the students here on campus.
Here's Africa in 1924.
What came up in the discussion, according to political science professor Dr. Joseph Ellis, was why the U.S. and the rest of the world didn't intervene to stop the mass killings.
In retrospect, I think if you ask almost any American in the administration at that time, they would say, my goodness, why didn't we do something? It just wasn't clear to some people.
What's clear to Theo is good can come out of tragedy. These are the only pictures he has of home when he was in a Christian orphanage. He hopes to return to Rwanda once he graduates from Wingate and help others as he has been helped.
God has been like walking with me up to now, and I cannot wait to see how the future unfolds.
Heather McDivitt, the religion professor, has looked at the genocide in Rwanda and how the nation recovered since the mid-1990s. She says the country held justice trials and focused on forgiveness and reconciliation, which helped them move past the horrible crimes committed and move forward as a stable, peaceful society. There's much to learn from Rwanda. And that's our show for this time. I'm Jeff Atkinson. Thank you for watching.
Comments? Questions? Contact us. Wingate Today is a production of WUTV and Wingate University's Department of Marketing and Communications.